We have an update on the Rock and John Cena heel faction. Plus, WWE could be signing or may have signed a huge New Japan talent. And we have more on that alternate ending to AEW Revolution. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Rock and Cena left us all twitching when they did their diabolical thing to Cody Rhodes a few weeks ago.
They wanted him to why didn't he just join, Tom?
Just give him your soul,
Give him your soul.
Bloody idiot. Regardless, WrestleVotes give us an update on what we could potentially be calling the Rock and John Cena, apart from arseholes.
Wow, there we go. So yes, as Tom mentioned, this comes from WrestleVotes, who say the pair of The Rock and John Cena will have strong promotion behind it as we move towards WrestleMania, with one of the ideas being to label the duo the Rock and Soul Connection, a nod to The Rock's father, Soul Man Rocky Johnson, perhaps. And I'm going to add this in there as well. I also assume the Rock and Sock connection with Mick Foley.
Yeah,
too.
that seems like an obvious one.
Yes, and also the fact, obviously, that The Rock wanted Cody Rhodes' soul as well. So we'll get back to the WrestleVotes. The WrestleVotes quote, the Rock and Soul Connection is an idea. It's not official. It's one of the ideas on the table to labeling the pairing of The Rock and John Cena. However, a rather large name within many of The Rock's storylines, WWE writer Brian Gewirtz responded to this report from WrestleVotes saying, "Your sources are drunk."
Well, now he has been known to poo-poo things that are happening.
Yes.
When reports come out about certain creative, he's known to poo-poo some of them anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not to say that they are drunk, as he says. They're not saying that they're not incorrect, but it could be him just sort of moving that idea away.
Trying to throw people off the scent a little bit, maybe.
Very much so. It's just enjoy the ride. Just
Yeah.
enjoy the ride,
I'm going to enjoy the ride because it's going to be good anyway. But as wrestling fans, how can you not speculate at the same time?
It's part of the fun, innit?
It is. I agree.
It's part of the fun. It's just the speculatorial nature of all the wrestling. Do we have other people join the Rock and Soul Connection, or is it just them lads?
I mean, obviously, a lot of people again have been speculating because of The Rock doing all his 3, and then he did the 2 when he cut the throat, and John Cena turned heel, and people are thinking maybe there's one more person to be placed within a potential faction with The Rock and John Cena. What do you think? I don't know. I think the two of them.
Clean.
Yes, I agree. I think the two of them alone on an absolute power trip is more than enough. People to be within that storyline, yeah.
Keep it clean. I think just those two is perfect. We'll hear from John Cena when Raw emanates from Brussels on Monday. Meanwhile, Cody made a very big point when he was asked about the soul giving process to The Rock, and he told The Rock very loud and very proud to go F yourself. A phrase that rang out so loud and so proud, WWE could be turning it into a line of potential merchandise. So we could be seeing "Go F Yourself" t-shirts on the road to WrestleMania.
That's crazy.
I love that.
I like it. It feels like it's not so obviously the line itself, and we've heard people drop the words every now and then, the naughty words, such as The Rock and CM Punk as well. Recently in that promo that he did, he said BS a few times, didn't he too? But yeah, for them to actually turn this into merch is quite surprising. Because, I mean, it's quite a more family-oriented product, isn't it, these days? So to have something like that is quite a big deal.
It changes the nature of it a little bit too.
Absolutely.
To really lean into it the way that they have. This is an interesting one that came down the line just a short while ago regarding WWE and a huge talent from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Huge indeed. WWE may have scooped up a huge name from New Japan in the form of Jeff Cobb. Cobb's future in New Japan looks uncertain after his most recent loss, teasing that he could be about to take his bags and go somewhere else. Fightful Select reports that the somewhere else in quotation marks could end up being WWE, saying Select's Sean Ross Sapp has learned from a number of sources that WWE has their eye on Jeff Cobb as of late. One source indicated that Cobb actually showed up on the company's internal roster this week. However, we've not confirmed that as of yet. What a get that would be. What a get that would be.
Jeff Cobb is fantastic.
And I thought maybe he'd go over to the AEW side of things with the whole United Empire. Many of the faction members being within AEW at the moment. But, oh my God, Jeff Cobb. like at first when I heard that as well, I was like, oh god, Jeff Cobb and Bronson Reed, give me that big boy slapping big boy slapping big beef indeed. But
meat.
like Cobb can do it all though, can't he? He can do like the more monster stuff. He's very agile as well and very athletic. He can do like quick squash matches. He can do the more lengthy matches. He can like match up with anybody, tag team or otherwise on his own as a single star. Maybe he'll be Chad Gable's luchador, as he was in Lucha Underground for a while as well. I can't remember his name, but he was super good in Lucha Underground. I think a lot of people consider that actually like maybe one of the best runs he's done so far in his career.
Monster Matanza. He was in the big boiler outfit.
He reminded me of Abyss a little bit, because of the boiler outfit. But he was tremendous there.
That was where I first caught a glimpse of him. I thought I love that character.
Yeah, me too.
The finish is great as well. The Tour of the Islands. Is almost a gravity-defying bit of business. Super, super good. Really like it.
Yeah, be interesting to see if he does turn up in WWE.
It'd be interesting to see what kind of energy he brings. Energy for you comes in the form of Gamer Subs GG Energy. I've swapped this out for coffee because coffee was making me all jittery and nervous.
Oh, yeah.
I had to give up energy drinks many years ago because they gave me heart palpitations.
That's the thing that they will do, yeah.
This does not, and it's a fraction of the price as well. What flavour have you got in yours today?
I've got the pineapple punch again in mine. I don't get the crash either that I usually do get with coffee and stuff like that. So
I would love you to get on that as well. In fact, if you go to cultaholic.com/gamersups to up your energy when you're next streaming, you get 10% off and a free sample pack with free delivery if you use Cultaholic when you check out at cultaholic.com/gamersubs. Now, AEW this week put on Revolution. They're running back the match that nobody wanted to see again next week. But we have a few more details this morning about that alternate ending that we could have got last Sunday.
Yeah, so Jon Moxley choking out Christian Cage wasn't the only planned finish, apparently, for Revolution, as we've learned this week, courtesy of sources close to The Observer. Fightful Select adds some new details to that story this morning, saying, Fightful Select was told that Luchasaurus, aka Killswitch, was backstage at the show. When asking about Luchasaurus backstage, a number of sources indicated there were discussions regarding him being used. It wasn't confirmed that Luchasaurus would have been part of said alternate ending, but with Christian's cash-in playing such a pivotal role, it would have made sense. Obviously, as well, Killswitch Luchasaurus has been off TV recently following a serious bout of pneumonia on both lungs, and as an issue which almost obviously took his life as well, as we heard. So to hear that he's backstage, incredible news. I'm so happy to hear that he's well enough to be backstage. What do you think about the potential ending of with like Luchasaurus coming out there, Killswitch coming out there as well? Do you think it would have been on the side of Christian Cage, or do you think it would have been against?
I think he would have come out and stopped it. I think they maybe would have come out and helped him to, well, not helped, to hindered him from becoming the champion. And I think that was kind of what the ending was always going to be.
Yeah.
With the contract, but for whatever reason, they decided just instead to have Christian just flummox it and fall into the hands of Jon Moxley, which is a shame. For whatever reason. We've heard stories about like loads of people being involved in that ending, a bit of a schmoz ending, which I think probably would have helped.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know where I land on it really, because I feel like if Luchasaurus / Killswitch came out now, he definitely would get cheered. And we've had sort of like the false teasings of him turning babyface once again anyway. But I feel like, with what's happened recently with Luchasaurus and Killswitch and what they've been through personally, then I think him coming back, I think people would rather want to cheer him anyway.
I think they would want to cheer him. I'm ready to cheer. When he came out all in.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, the false, when we were like, oh my God, he's back as Luchasaurus. And then no, it was a ruse.
Yeah, it was a setup all along.
My goodness.
Shocking behavior. For the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Kiss.
I love you, bye.